Yep, you read the title correctly. You should ruin your minis. It sounds counterintuitive, right? Surely one should aim for nothing less than perfection. From the immaculate, fresh out of the factory Tau battlesuit, to the grimy, oozing Death Guard Traitor Marine, each patch of filth and slime just measured to precision. Anything less than perfection is a waste of time. Right? New painters in this hobby, hells, new people in any hobby, all of us, are very prone to this feeling. And who can blame us? One feels pressure of sorts to get it right the first time. And I know you feel it. We're bombarded constantly with imagery and messages about what perfection is and how it is there, just right there, just waiting for us to reach out and take it, just like that. I'm still a fairly new painter myself, and I can tell you that it's easy to focus on the end result. You want your miniatures to look amazing, of course, like the ones you see online or on the boxes. Except, I don't think that's what we want. Let me elaborate. What those images don't show is the thousands of hours those painters spent getting to that point. Every clean edge, every perfect blend, it's all built upon a foundation of practice and imperfection. If I could offer only a single piece of advice, it would be this. There's no such thing as wasted time, only wasted experience. Maybe we accidentally over-thin our paints and it runs into every crevice. Or maybe we try dry brushing for the first time and it ends up looking like the model sprinted through a cornfield right after dusting. It feels frustrating in the moment, but now we've learned how paint consistency works, or how to better control one's brush. Each mistake made builds a library of experience. Over time, we start making fewer mistakes because we understand the process better, and that right there is what we want. Not the perfect minis, but the know-how to achieve them. Now, at this point, you may be thinking, well, duh, you daft limey. Of course that's what I want, being able to make dope-looking minis. But you see, there is a clear and important distinction between the mindsets of aiming for perfect results and aiming to improve your knowledge and skill. This can almost seem obvious when hearing out loud, but making this conscious effort to adopt a particular mindset when undergoing anything will lead to different outcomes. Namely, in this case, a new outlook on your journey into a hobby, and effectively reprioritizing how you absorb knowledge. Something that can help with this is remembering that not every mini has to be a golden demon contender. Some are just practice pieces, and that's okay. In fact, deliberately painting with a mindset where it doesn't have to be perfect is incredibly freeing. It gives you permission to experiment, if you would, to try new techniques, and most importantly, to enjoy the hobby. Now, granted, there are a few reasons an anxious mind may rationalize aiming for nothing short of perfection every time. Minis aren't free, and many of them aren't cheap. I should know, I paint 40k. But in response to such thought, another thing to keep in mind is that mistakes can be fixed. Painted a section the wrong color? Paint over it. You botched a freehand design? Well, try again or cover it up with a decal. Even if you feel like a model is beyond saving, you can strip the paint and start over. It's oddly easy to forget that nothing you paint is truly set in stone if you don't want it to be, and that's one of the most empowering things about this hobby. And on top of that, when you combine this fact with a mindset geared towards gaining knowledge and skill and simply enjoying the hobby, now your brain is really cooking with brain gas. Now suddenly your first model looking janky, I know mine sure does, is no failure to achieve a specific look. It's a series of experiences gained, lessons learned. Every time you pick up a brush, you're improving. You're learning how to steady your hand, how to thin your paints, how to layer colors, and so much more. Each new mini you paint is going to be better than the last. And even the ones that have not gone to plan are stepping stones to greater skill. And of course, this also applies to the more experienced painters out there. Those of you learning stippling, object source lighting, glazing, advanced basing techniques, no matter how far up the ladder you are, you're still potentially battling with uncertainty. So to all the new and unconfident painters out there, don't let fear or anxieties hold you back. Pick up that brush, slap some paint on that mini, and see what happens. Make the jump, and I promise you will make mistakes. Embrace them. Learn from them. And know that with every disaster, you're one step closer to becoming the painter that you want to be. Your first models likely will, or do, look rough, bland, bumpy, but they're not failures. They're a record of your journey. Each one tells a story of where you started and how far you've come. I mean, just look back on my YouTube channel. It's an archive of my entire hobby painting journey from its very beginning. I've had so many people join me, and I learnt quickly that there's only one single way to truly fail, and that is to never start at all. So yeah, if you want to grow as a painter, you need to embrace the mistakes. In fact, I'd argue that you should ruin your minis. Thanks for watching. I'm Artifexus. You can call me Artie. And remember, the Emperor is always guiding your brush.